Rotarians.
And good morning,
Here at the
Tom.
beautiful Origin Red Rocks Hotel and at home as we begin our final meeting of the 2020-21 program year. Let's hear some inspiration from Don Bliley.
Thank you, Tom. Let's pause. Gracious Spirit, we pause to offer our thanks to you on this beautiful, cool summer morning, realizing that we are truly blessed people, and we give you thanks for the gifts of life that we have been given. Especially this day, we're grateful for the gift of life that we've been given to live in this country that we love, realizing that we have been blessed to have freedoms that most of the world is not aware of or doesn't have. Let us remember that it's something that we have to work to maintain. So keep us always faithful to the gift of freedom that is ours and the gift of freedom that we want to pass on to those that come before us. And so as we gather this Rotary morning, we thank you for the gift of Rotary and the opportunity it provides us to be involved in this organization that calls us to put service above self and seek ways to find help and support for other people. So bless the food that we partake of, bless the fellowship that we share, and make us always strong and make us hopeful. For we ask it in your name. Amen.
We're back. Okay, thank you, Don.
Yep.
Amen. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And let's see, Larry Hall, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Unmute. There we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
of the United
of the
States
United States of America,
to the republic
and to the republic for which it
one
stands,
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay standing. And Rotarian of the Year, Bill Getzinger, will you lead us in the four-way test?
Four-way test of the things say or do. First,
Is it the truth?
Truth,
second,
Fair to all concerned.
concern,
Build goodwill, better friendships. Will be beneficial to all concerned. Okay, please have a seat. So Greg's not here. Pat, will you introduce our guests? You gotta come up here. Right here.
Morning, everybody. Thank you, President Tom.
You're welcome.
Your final time. We have one guest visiting us in person today. Derek, you want to come up and say hi to everybody and just tell us a little bit about yourself? So, all right.
Right. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Derek Timmerman. Fresh in town from Charlotte, North Carolina. Just moved here last week and sent an email, new in town email out to a couple of folks. Got forwarded to Heather at the Golden Civic Foundation, who invited me to the Golden Summer Jam with my wife. So there met Jim and was invited to Rotary. So great to be with you this morning. I'm a nonprofit consultant, so I work with nonprofit organizations to help them fundraise and do leadership coaching and improve their operations. It's great to be with you this morning. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Derek, and make sure you keep coming back every Tuesday. After 3 meetings, I'll twist your arm with a membership application.
Thank you so much.
All right. And I think no visitors on Zoom. So President Tom, back to you.
So great to have you, Derek. Do you do like image consulting for presidents of organizations?
Possibly.
Yeah, we'll send you over to Ken and get him all set up for the year. Okay. Thank you. Announcements. I don't see Jamie here, but he'll probably be here a little bit later and we'll have him give an update on the peach sale. I think we're about 20% of our goal. Is that right, Peggy? Yeah, okay, good. Go ahead, Peggy, say it.
Yes, we're at about 20% this morning. Which means we got 80% to go. We got 3,200 more boxes of peaches to sell. We are ahead of last year, but we've got an audacious goal of 4,000 boxes. So we need everybody's hard work to get these sold. And here's Keen for the update. You can see we've got 3,229 more boxes to sell. We are at about 20%. So sell. And Katie's got some ideas and opportunities for you as well. Katie?
Yes, okay. That's great. I got an email today. So it was amazing how you did that math so quickly to get from 20% sold to 80% we need. So thank you for that.
I'm such a math wizard, said no one.
Jim Halderman's going to share an opportunity about the concert. Remember? You sent me an email. You sent me an email about the concert.
So a little over a year ago, there was a car bombing in the middle of Baghdad. A gentleman took his cello in the middle of all of the activity and began to play. His name is Kareem Wasfi. He also is the conductor of the Iraqi Symphony Orchestra. As he played, people gathered around, and people continued to gather, and other musicians came and joined him in the middle of this bombed out area in Baghdad. During that time, approximately 12 soldiers came and laid down their guns and said, I want to learn to play music. Wasfi is aware of the limitation of the arts in Baghdad at this point in time. So he has started several orchestras and started a peace organization called Peace Through the Art of Music. Through my connection of the Rotary Action Group for Peace, I have become connected with people from around the world, and we have decided to put on a concert that is designed to support his efforts in building peace in Iraq. We have already collected music from several different orchestras from around the world. I have the conductor of the Sydney Opera, who is a virtuoso violinist, sent some music to play on this concert. I have music from the Valdesta, Georgia Orchestra that is very good. We have music coming in from Turkey. I have a new composition coming in from Hong Kong that will be part of this concert. So the music will be a year-round event around the world. The performance will be September 18th, and you'll be hearing much more about this as we move along. September 18th, because that's a Saturday prior to the September 21st, which is the United Nations Peace Day. So we want to bring attention to peace. The UN at least celebrates peace for a day, and that's more than we've been doing. So let's hope for the best. Part of the reason that makes this such a golden opportunity is that the Golden Foundation has agreed to be the treasurer of this event. It will be a fundraising. We will be collecting monies from around the world, and people have already began sending in monies from around the world to support the program. We have hired a professional video electronics technology guru to handle all of the music and the performance itself, which will be done on Vimeo, which is more of the professional platform for such an event. It's a professional organization that handles many conferences and many such events. So it will be done very professionally. So September 18th, and we want to thank all of the Golden Rotarians and the Golden Foundation for helping support this phenomenal program. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Now, do you have an MC already for this event? Because we have a great one, you know.
We don't, and we're talking.
Okay. So our club got in the mail an invitation to the Foothills Arts Center to their gala, which will be on July 16th. Are any of the members here planning to attend the gala? Okay, Paul Haseman is planning to attend. Good, so we'll have good representation from our club. So if you're interested, and attending the gala. I'll leave the card up here and you can find out the details. We're just getting there. Okay. So Rick Hebert has a special presentation.
Hi, everybody. Wasn't that fun on Friday night? Pretty cool. Now, we have one special item that we did announce on Friday night, but our special recipient fell off of Zoom while we were happening. So let me show you this. Mr. Malone, you want to unmute yourself for a minute? Can you see that? You're still muted. Okay. While you're unmuting yourself, this is an award that the club has presented to you and Jan. Oh, good. Jan's there too. Hey, Jan, hang around.
Unmute your husband.
Unmute your husband.
Bottom left corner.
Bottom left.
Click that red thing in the bottom left.
I can't. That's, yeah, it has to, he has to agree to it.
Anyway, just continue.
Okay, so anyway, Jim, if you can, Jan left. This is an award that you and Jan were given to the club for your quarter century, that would be 25 years of managing the old Golden Road cleanup. This is a really cool thing. We have a section of the road that you and Jan took care of by organizing our volunteers. So the club wanted to give you this in your honor to hang around your house. So congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. Oh. Okay, well, when you come back on, you can say something, okay?
Thank you. That's Jim.
Okay. How about the riddle for the day? No, you can't get away with that. What did one ocean say to the other ocean? What did one ocean say to the other ocean? No. One ocean didn't say anything to the other one. He just waved. Hmm. You like yours better? Well, okay. All right. How about Happy Bucks? Let's do the room first. Anybody happy in here? Mr. Kevin, come on up.
Well, good morning, everyone. So you might recall that on May 8th, this club made a major contribution to the restoration of the Courage Garden by having a big work day. I think there was about, 30 or 40 people that showed up, Bill, something like that. And a bunch of hard work has occurred since that date, planting of trees and perennials and so forth. And they put the new gazebo up, and tomorrow is going to be the reopening of the Courage Garden. So if anyone would like to attend, that will occur at 10 a.m. in the morning. They're just behind the Taj Mahal. But yeah, much thanks to the club for turning out and making such a huge contribution to the restoration.
Thank you, Kevin. That was a great day of service for those of you that were up there. Remember all that hard work that, Bill was straw bossing us, moving those rocks around. Whew, that was heavy work. Okay, how about more happy in the room here? Okay, Zoomers, you're up. Anybody happy there? George Mitchell, go for it.
Thank you, Rick. Yes, I just wanted to let the group know that last week, my lady and I celebrated our 61st wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow. That's
Thought
great.
That was a fairly significant milestone, and we're still good buddies.
Great.
You guys are a great couple. Thanks for coming Friday. Good to see you and congratulations, 61. That's a big deal, George.
We think so.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do. Way to go. Okay, how about some more happy on Zoomers? Okay, Will, you're up.
I'm just thankful and happy for all this beautiful water that we've been getting. The trees in the metro area have been stressing for the last 3, maybe even 5 years. And all this water is really catching them up. I think if anybody has pine trees and spruce trees, they can see all this wonderful new growth that this water has provided. So thank you, God, and keep it coming.
Amen. Thank you, Will. That's great. Excellent. Okay, any more happy Zoomers? Peggy, I see you have somebody over to your right shoulder. Is that your assistant today?
Yes, this is my assistant Keen. And for those of you who didn't make the Golden Civic Foundation Summer Jam on Thursday, which was a smashing event, I mean, crawling with people that we hadn't seen in like a year and a half. So, and that's where he made his debut to sell peaches. And you know what? It worked. Because usually by the end of the week, orders come in pretty slowly. They ramped up. So this little guy is effective, and he's going to be making some tours, we think, this week to various businesses, and especially, you know, like maybe Golden Mills. And so we can take a picture of him at Golden Mills saying he stopped by for a peach margarita. How about you? So at any rate, yeah, this is Keen, our peach ambassador.
How cool is that? All right, thank you, Peggy, and Assistant Keen. Way to go. And a special thanks to the folks that set up the booth and worked it on Thursday at the Summer Jam. Katie, thank you. Jeannie couldn't make it because she took a header in her garden and hurt herself, but she's better now, right, Jeannie? Okay, way to go. Peggy and Jim were there. Susie Lucan was there. Thanks. Okay. Any more happy anywhere, room or Zoomers? Okay. President Tom, back to you.
Thank you. Well, I have a late happy buck, but I'll get it to you. My happy buck is to Chris Kozar and the Origin Red Rocks Hotel. Put on a great banquet for us on Friday night. We had 49 people registered. A delicious meal of salmon or chicken or vegetarian, and they just had the room decorated so nicely. And so let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Today is our club assembly, and this is our chance to hear all the great things that have been taking place at Rotary during this program year. And so we have quite a few reports. Is there some way to put this on record? It's on. Okay, good. So we have a record of this. We're going to start with Linda Diedrichsen in Community Service, followed by Mental Health Committee. Are you going to give that report, Colleen?
Huh?
Are you going to give the Mental Health Committee report? Yeah. Okay, you're next.
Yeah, she's coming up. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Community service. So this year, when we met last year, looked at what we were going to do. We knew we didn't have as much money to spend, so we focused on mental health and food security and housing. So with that, we had narrowed down our giving to, first of all, we did Project Rehab back in September. And we're going to do it again this year, just so you know. We haven't set the date. It's either going to be they have a September date and an October date. So we're hoping that we'll get more people out, kind of like we had with the Courage Garden, to come and help with project rehab. And then Joan did our fabulous miracle shop. She's just incredible. Unfortunately, they must be back east now, but she is going to be doing that again this year. And then instead of the holiday food boxes, we worked with Tyson at Be Golden, and we handed out restaurant gift cards to people. Haven't really decided if that's really the best way to go, but it worked for us for this year, and it worked for the restaurants. And then the other, it wasn't really under community service, but I considered it community service, and Bill put together the amazing Courage Garden project. So that, and then we also gave $1,000 to the Golden Civic Foundation for their work in the community with housing. So overall, it was about 30,000. But part of that also was mental health that Colleen is going to talk about.
Good morning, everyone. The Mental Health Committee was busy over Zoom most of this year. And we have several programs going on that I'd like to talk to you about. First of all, we're putting cool down corners in the schools. We added a little bit to Shelton Elementary, but this fall we're going to be starting at Mitchell Elementary, and the principal there has been contacted and they're really excited about building cool down corners. In case somebody doesn't know what they are, they're a little corner where you can choose to go and chill for a minute, get control of your emotions. If you're having a bad day, let's say, you lost your kitten or something like that when you're a young child. And it's a really good training mechanism for kids to understand why they feel the way they do, and allow them to help. I actually think it would be a great idea for a golf tournament sometime to have a cool down corner at the end of an especially hard hole. I just put that out there to the golf people sometime.
We have one sponsored by Coors.
Well, I was thinking about that too. I think that, there's adult cool down corners as well. In addition to that, we have a TAP program, which is at the high school, and what Golden Rotary is doing is help fund students who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford professional mental health services. And we've got a student in therapy now, and we have a limit, and we have a series of counselors, and this is all or therapists, and it's run by the counselors at the high school. In addition, we're doing a 3-club group meeting to talk about ideas. So we're currently partnering with a club in Denver and also one out east, Commerce City Club. Yes. And in the process of doing that, Tom got tapped to head the mental health committee for the entire district. So we're moving district wide. We're also looking at two new Kaiser programs called Ghosted and Own It. And they're programs that are free that go into the schools and allow students to talk about how to help each other, peer helping, should someone have suicidal thoughts or just depression. And then as usual, we have the mental health tips are still coming out. If you have a great idea for a subject, please email me. And I think that's all. Am I missing something, Jeannie? No, Kevin? All right, thank you.
Our next report is from our chair of the International Service Committee, Kevin. And youth service is on deck.
Okay, hello again. So the International Service Committee had a great year this past year, and I want to give thanks to all our members. We had quite a cast of characters that contributed their ideas and hard work. The members of the committee were Jordan Seme, Shelley Rizal, Tom Baker, Jim McGuigan, Jim Halderman, Sandy Algermason, Katie Bracciano, Don Hogue, Tyler Freeman, and our newest member that joined the club, Susie Lucan, joined our committee also. So thanks to all of them for all their hard work. So projects that we completed this last year, we worked with a native Senegalese fellow to send medical supplies to a hospital in Senegal in conjunction with Project Cure. We assisted Ghana Peace Jam with some leadership training, and we're going to be also working with them this coming year on teacher training. Teachers will be trained in how to educate the youth on how to resolve conflict constructively in their country. We purchased a shelter box like we always do, and we sponsored Britt Woodrum's hike to raise money for Shelter Box. She ended up raising $80,000 for Shelter Box, and we were part of that. One of our bigger projects was Project Education South Sudan. Jim Halderman put together a district grant and did a bunch of fundraising to raise money to send 17 gals to school in South Sudan. And this is very important. It's a part of the world that's had a lot of civil strife and war in the past, but they're enjoying kind of a fragile peace at the moment. And educating young women is seen as one of the real keys to prolonging that peace. And we're also this coming year going to be doing some fundraising to sustain those young women. We don't want to just send them to school for 1 year. We're going to look at some creative fundraising ideas and sustain their education. We initiated a international friendship exchange program with international students at the School of Mines. And special thanks go to Jordan and Shelley for all their hard work in putting together that program, and also to the 10 Rotarians who signed up. I think we're off to a great start there. And this coming year, we're going to be growing the program by opening it up to the communities, opening it up to the larger Golden community. There's about 800 international students at Mines, so Rotary really can't do it all. We need a little help on that. We began work on some projects with Tom Baker's former club in Alexandria, Egypt. They're called the Alexandria Cosmo Rotary Club. And we decided to help fund a solar irrigation pump in a village in the Western Desert. And that was mainly to kind of form a relationship and get some things going with Tom's former club. But now we're working on another project where we are basically going to link up students at the Colorado School of Mines with students at Alexandria University, and they're going to be working together to figure out how to better manage water at the same village where we've funded the solar irrigation pump. And there's hopefully going to be an opportunity for travel, even where mine students might go over to Egypt, see things, and Egyptian students might come to our country and learn about things also. Sandy Alger-Meeson was very essential in putting together that program. She has some great connections with Colorado School of Mines, and we're going to miss Sandy dearly. She has so much wisdom and really did a lot to help us on that project. And then we also decided to become involved with a project in Kenya, a project called Just Be a Child, where we are working with a group in the UK. There's a Rotary Club in Stevenage, England, that works with a nonprofit that goes by the name Just Be a Child. And what they do is they work on literacy programs in Kenya, and they send over containers of books, but then they go beyond that and they use these containers to turn them into kind of like libraries and community centers, and they set up reading programs for kids there. So yeah, once again, I think we had a great year, and I thank all the members of the committee, and thank you to the club for providing us with the funding to do this type of work. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. In International Service, Bill Getzinger, our Chair for the Youth Service Committee, is going to give the next report. And Michelle, we're going to give you a little time to talk about vocational service after.
Good morning to everybody. I'm going to talk about the Youth Services Committee. Just want to give a breakdown of who the committee members are and their responsibilities. So, myself and previous committee chair, Jim Peters, helped out with the youth RILA selection for this year if we would have had a RILA. Also, Jim helped on the Bell Middle School and outdoor lab liaison along with Paul Hazeman. Paul recently really got the relationship going a little bit better, which is great. Linda served as our Mines Rotaract advisor. Tyson Nath worked on the Golden High School Interact advisor. Pat Madison, unfortunately, if we had youth exchange, would have been serving as our youth exchange officer. Jamie did a great job getting our scholarships all arranged and is in the process of getting all the checks cut for the students. And then we had Mike and Tom, that also supported the committee, which is great. As I kind of alluded to, youth services had a challenging year with the pandemic. Unfortunately, a lot of the youth service type activities were canceled. In-person RILA was canceled. The youth exchange was canceled for this year and for next year, which is not great. We didn't have outdoor lab for Bell Middle School. The Golden Gallop was canceled. I would say in general, with kids not in person, interact and things were certainly less engaged. And I would say that School of Mines unfortunately saw kind of a similar level of engagement until kind of the latter half of the year when we had the St. Baldrick's type situation and things like that. So, I mean, even with that, we had great synergy actually across different committees. Without that synergy, without the Miracle Shop, without the Warren Tech interviews, without items like that, there wouldn't have been a lot of youth services activities this year, unfortunately. But I think the synergy portion between the committees is definitely the super important things that we have going on here. We did this past year support Foothills and Miners Alley, which is great. We were able to support the lunch that we arranged at the Courage Garden, which was great. We are gonna write a check to Bell Middle School to support some activities that some teachers took on kind of out of their own pocket throughout the year, which is also good. And then we have the $13,500 in scholarships that we will award on July 27th at the club. So looking forward to next year, and this hasn't been approved, but our forecasted budget, we're asking for an additional $1,000 for other activities, and the real reason is we're trying to expand our breadth of what the Youth Services Committee does. I think that there's a lot of activities that we can synergize with all the different areas, so that we can really expand out of what we've been doing in prior years. So, hey, just upcoming youth services activities. We do have virtual RILA. The last day to sign up is tomorrow. I talked to Tyson. It sounds like we hadn't gotten good traction from Golden High School from their Interact Club. If you all have some folks that are eligible for RILA, it's virtual. It's on July 24th. Please encourage them to sign up. To be eligible, you need to be, it's basically anyone in high school and a graduating high school student as well. So it's like literally 9th through 20th grade or whatever it is, 13th grade. Additionally, we have the Golden Gallop coming up on the 19th of September. Youth Services will sponsor that. We'll have a tent there to kind of increase membership outlook. So that's another thing that's coming up. So what's next for the committee? Like I said, we're going to continue to synergize with other committees to help the youth and Golden area and internationally. Hopefully we can, work with the International Services Committee a little bit more. And we also recognize that there's a lot of opportunities that we can expand out to. And I think that'll be what's coming, in this next Rotary year. And hey, I just want to take one other second to pitch something out. And I certainly won't step on Peaches as one of our fundraising activities, but we do have the Woo Humanity Challenge again this year. Just as a reminder, it is a partnership between the District 5450 and the Denver Century Ride Club, and there's opportunities to raise money through riding a bike or volunteering at the bike race, or they've really made it really easy for people of all different levels, abilities, whatever you can do to kind of help with that. It is Saturday, September 25th. So I realize that between the 19th and the 25th, there's a lot of activities. There's the there's the peace item, there's the Golden Gallop, there's this. So thank you. Any questions for youth services? Nope. Nope. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to give a special shout out to Paul for taking over Bill Middle School Interact, and to Tyson for the high school Interact. And I know that those clubs will get revved up coming next year. And that's a really important part of youth services for us. Our new chair of the Vocational Service Committee is Michelle. And Michelle, if you could unmute and just give you a couple minutes to talk about what the vocational service did this year.
Sure. Sandy truly has been wonderful, actually, since the moment I met her. She's mentored me. So I'm pleased that pleased and surprised by how much all of the committees do at Golden Rotary. But for vocational services this last year, they actually have done quite a bit, and I had no idea everything that was involved. They do the classification talks, presentations with the Golden Chamber Young Professionals, the War and Tech interviews, vocational speakers, which Pat Madison has been pivotal in making sure that we have the right programs going on. Peaceful Schools, which Jim Halderman and Tom Baker have been just wonderful in providing that service. Ethics and Business Awards, which is huge, and I had no idea that that was under vocational committee as well, but that is a huge event and such a great thing for the community of Golden. They did talk about the trades awareness program this last year. They haven't fully developed that, but we'll be working on that this next coming year. And then that looks like it. I did send out a few things for your review, and if you could give input, that would be great. And I hope we all have a great year, which I'm sure we will.
Thank you. And Michelle, did you talk about the interviews at Warren Tech? She did. Okay, those were really, really great. Our Fifth Avenue of service is administration, and I'm going to have Rick come up and give a little report. Is there anybody here that?
Hi again. We all know what administration is, I think, and as I'm also the sergeant at arms, and I want to report on our security features first that we've had at our meetings. This year, again, I can proudly report that there's been no fistfights, no weapons coming in, and no arguments. So it's for like 6 years running now, we've had a clean meetings, and I appreciate everybody jumping in and doing that. Okay, now our administration, I would recommend to the new folks. Shelley, Jordan, Susie, Bill, you're kind of new. Chris, you're kind of new. We're not doing it like we did before when we had the hybrid or the regular in-person meetings, but I'd encourage the new folks to come in and visit and get to know everybody by a first name basis. It really helps the comfort level of one, the current members, and two, the new members, so that you can put a face and a personality to who you're talking to. It really helps. And I want to thank Bill and I want to thank Chris, especially for making what we're seeing here, the Zoom stuff, work great. Bill, you got a question? Bill asked what my name was again, and I already told him like twice. Ay, ay, ay. This is what you have to come up with. By the way, Riddle Central is always open for good riddles. Somewhere between 3rd and 5th grade, PG, nothing nasty or political, okay? All right, I think we're good to go on that.
That Bush joke.
Well, that was kind of a cross between Bush and, or between religious and policy.
Thank you, Rick. What a great job you do as Sergeant of Arms. I heard rumor that coming next year, we may be doing Saco again. Great. But must be present to win. So that's an incentive for all you Zoomers to get back and coming to the club. We're all vaccinated and no mask here. So it's a really safe and fun place to be. So come back to the club. So we just went through the 5 avenues of service for Rotary: administration, community service, international service, youth service, and vocational service. So we really encourage every member of this club to join in one of those avenues of service, get on a committee, get involved. I know most of you are, but if you aren't, think about that and join 1 or 2 of the avenues of service. Ethics and Business is a committee that's been really doing a lot of planning and some good things, and Paul Haseman's going to give an update on where EIB is.
As Michelle said, Ethics and Business is part of her committee, but she's new to it as a head. But you know, COVID year, we still used our imagination. Tom Hughes led us this past year, and Tom's not here now, and I don't see him up there. But Larry Hall and Sandy Algerbison and Pat Madison, myself, if I had to quickly think of someone and didn't list you, thank you too. As part of COVID, though, we decided to do a quarterly Ethics and Business Award, and we started that, if you'll remember from a presentation earlier this year, with Amy and Dean Valdez. Okay, good. The old memory clicks in slowly, but it did. And so we were happy to recognize them and the work they do as volunteers in the city, as well as businesses in the city. So we're having a meeting this next week, and we'll be moving on to have a next quarterly. And this next May, we plan on having a back in a hotel presentation like we have in the past. So Ethics of Business is alive and well. Thank you.
Tom Hughes was not able to attend this meeting, and he's our Rotary Foundation chair. We set a goal for our annual fund of raising $8,500. So far today, we're at 10,500. So way to go. And for polio, we set a goal of raising $3,000. And we blew that out of the water. We raised 6,500. Multiply that times 3. So that's great. Membership, Pat Madison, we also kind of blew that out of the water, winning the district award for membership for middle-sized clubs this year.
Thank you, Tom. Let's see, I'm co-chair of the membership committee with Greg Elliott. It's been a rewarding year from this past year, and I'd want to follow up on Rick's comments. It's just important that we, whether Zoom or in person, we make all new members or visitors feel welcome. And this club is extremely good at doing that. And I want to thank everybody, because as you can remember, when you came to visit Golden Rotary, you either felt very, very welcomed or maybe a little bit standing by yourself. And I don't see that standing by yourself happen very often. So thanks for that. I also want to emphasize that I feel like, and it's not just because I'm co-chair of the committee, but I think membership is the most important committee of Golden Rotary. I mean, this is who we are. Our members make up Golden Rotary, and hence it's an important committee. So keep that in mind when you think about growing our membership. I hope we make everyone feel welcome, we're inclusive, and also we had a good year last year. When you think about all of our challenges, growing our club was absolutely terrific during the pandemic. Also, Derek, I mean, this is, I hope you feel welcome, and that's I guess you found out about us through Heather, or through Halderman's at this, the connections through people spreading out the word and saying, hey, come visit us. And I know I've seen Paul Haseman in action. Practically everyone he meets comes to the club, or even past members or maybe not very active members come visit us. So please continue that great work so we can keep a healthy and vibrant membership. So any questions? Oh, okay, Tom, back to you.
So Pat mentioned that membership is a really important committee in the club, most important, but I also think the program chair and the program committee is mighty important, because it keeps us coming in with these interesting programs. And our chair this year was Pat Madison, and I think he did an amazing job this year. We had some great speakers. Let's give him a round of applause. And he's agreed to be program chair next year too. So Pat, give us a little report.
All right, programs. I think there was so much help this past year in suggestions and contact information for speakers. I tried to find a good balance between local, national, and international. And it seems like that balance was there this year. And I hope to follow that. You'll probably see more of the same next year. But once again, I rely on everybody's help. I think that we've had from inside the club speakers that helps us get to know each other a little bit better. And of course, introductions from outside the club. Also, there are speakers that suddenly can't show up, and I've really appreciated this past year how members have jumped in, including Paul Haseman when our Buffalo Bill speaker didn't show up, the past executive director of the Buffalo Bill Museum on top of Lookout didn't show up. Paul jumped in, and I wasn't at that meeting, but Paul, did you talk about Buffalo Bill too? Or
I did.
Yeah. So he told us what he knew about Buffalo Bill. Let's see. Also, Jim and Tom, you guys jumped in when we had a last second cancellation.
Next week's speakers interrupted.
Okay, well, I'm here. Next week's speaker is Greg Elliott. Said, I have a very interesting person that works for me. He does grave exhumation. Am I saying that? Exhumation and sainthood for the Catholic Church. So I know that sounds like a funny topic to start out the year, but that's what it is. We'll hear about a person who's an expert in that, goes all over. And I think the Catholic Church is very particular about digging up a grave. So we'll hear about that. So, all right.
Thank you.
Oh, back to you.
Thank you, Pat. Our next report is from Jeannie Oliver, Public Relations.
Morning, everybody. Public Relations Committee last year kind of got a reboot, and we had a lot of efforts going on. One of the goals of the PR efforts for Golden Rotary is to ensure that the community knows who we are and what we do, to the end of supporting our fundraising, our events, our service, getting involved, and also our visibility in the community is what can help us attract new members, speakers, just a whole host of things. So one of the things that we did last year was we reestablished the Golden Nuggets newsletter. And the purpose of that really is to share the information and the good work that's going on throughout the club with the committees and the different special events, etc. It's really hard to keep up with all the great work that we do, and a little difficult to explain in the community what we do if we don't know what we do. So that's really what we try to do with the newsletter, and also have some fun with it and post some photos and stuff. And I really thank Peggy Halderman for helping get that jump started again, and giving me the background on what we used to do and what would be helpful now. So that's one thing that we did. I hope you all are reading it, and try to make it interesting to read, and just so that you can scan through it. Another thing that we did is Jordan and Katie and Peggy and I worked together on increasing and enhancing our social media. And hats off to Jordan and Katie really for that effort. Jordan has pretty much taken on the posting social media, posting our events, posting just interesting tidbits about the club, etc. Got us expanded into Instagram, and made me even understand Instagram. So I have an Instagram account now, and I can check that. One of the things that I think, one of the ways that we can increase our visibility with the club into the community and to new audiences is for those of us that are involved with social media, be it Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you can share those posts that happen on the club's website and spread the word about the good things that we do. I think it's really nice to see the visibility that we're gaining as we come out of the pandemic with our events. I think that one of the best sources of PR are all of our members getting out and about in the community and talking to people and connecting, just the promotion of the different events. I'm thinking of the golf tournament, Peaches, the participation in Summer Jam. A lot of people were there, and we had a visibility for selling peaches. Cornhole has started again, and the volunteering in the Courage Garden. I'm not sure where this activity belongs, but we did participate in the teacher appreciation and the law enforcement appreciation. And I think we gained some good visibility around that. The gift bags and the presentation to Golden Police. I think we got some good press and good good visibility. So that's really what the goals are again for this coming year. One minor little project that several of us has worked on for about 6 months is our website, and taking a look at about 25 other websites, Rotary websites, best practices, taking a look at what we need that will take us into the future, and then developing a request for a proposal, having vendors respond to that, and then evaluating those proposals. So I want to give a big shout out to Shelley Roselle, who has been kind of co-chair of this special task force, and the driver and the sound technology person for this project. Also, a part of that task group was Pat Madison and Jim McGuigan and Tom Baker and Ken Boggs. So we will be having some exciting information to share probably next month about how we're going to go forward. And many of you will be involved, because as we go along the path to create the new website, we're going to be asking, what does your particular committee or what does your particular event need in terms of functionality of a website, and how do you have input into that process and the design, et cetera. So that's it.
Thank you, Jeannie. What a great year for PR. You know, the club doesn't function without fundraisers, and we have our major fundraiser coming up with the peach sale, and we're going to have Jamie come up and give a little toot about what's happening, and then I'm going to bring Bill Getzinger back up here, or Chris Kozar, whatever, to talk about the results of the golf tournament.
Well, we've got some good news, but we want to convert it into great news in this next month. This next month's really critical because the sooner we can close out our peaches, you know, the sooner we could tell the grower Noland, you know, that he needs to bring 2 trucks over here. I know in the past, I've been involved with Peach Committee on and off over the last 15 or so years, and you know, in the past, we've kind of waited to the last minute and had a push, and you know, we're looking at members. I'm going to be ordering my peaches this week, both for my family, for people that work with me as gifts. So I would encourage all the Rotarians to do that. I'm also going to be printing out a copy of the QR code and link, and I'm going to keep it in my pocket as I go. I'm having lunch with, you know, people this week and over the next few weeks, and I'm going to be pulling that out and asking them, you know, as I meet with people at various places, oh, get your phone out, scan this QR code. You know, we all know how to use, if you've been to a restaurant, maybe everybody hasn't been to a restaurant lately, but if you've been to a restaurant, I was at one last night and just chatting with my friends, and they're like, well, what are you going to order? And, you know, I was just waiting for the menu, and they pointed to the table, you know, scan the QR code. So, so start talking with that. You know, you can send the information around by email, but definitely in-person sales are great. We do have some numbers, you know, we're kind of data driven. Our goal is 4,000 peaches, and we're bumping up right now as we're just, you know, we've been in this mode for just this month. We have next month's our big month. We're bumping up at 20%. We're at 19.55% peaches sold. So, you know, we'd really like to get that push on. You know, that's it's over 768 boxes. We're well ahead of last year at this time by 82 boxes. You know, the other thing is, and probably most of you know this, but you know, we implemented a little bit of a change that we're not only selling boxes for people to buy and eat and give away themselves, but if they don't want to even have to touch the boxes, they can just buy more boxes, and we'll give those away to nonprofits. So that's on the website. If you got to go through there and put your information in, so you can buy your boxes you'll pick up, or you can buy boxes that, you know, we'll deliver, and you know, we'll need help getting those out. But that'll be the easy part. So there, you know, more ability for sales there. you know, and people were talking about fundraisers. Kevin, you know, if we sell 4,000 boxes this year, I'm sure the powers that be here will, you know, help with projects like that. You know, golf tournament that just wrapped up, you know, a 20-pound box of peaches is $41. A good box of golf balls, $50, $60, $70. And think about it, your non-golfing family, your spouse, others, wouldn't they be much happier if you came home with a couple of boxes of peaches than golf balls? So get out there and sell, share on social media. I don't know if anyone else has questions or whatever, but definitely track me down. The committee's working really hard. And we'll have an update next week with our thermometer and more information. Oh, Peggy.
Why don't we ask Katie to tell everybody about the 10 Case Club as a little incentive? Katie, are you there that you can unmute and get everybody jazzed about this wonderful event?
Yep. So we are going to do a little competition, get a little incentive for everybody to buy. 10 Case Club. If you buy 10 cases, and remember, you can buy them for yourself. You can also donate them. So not all 10 boxes have to go home with you, but 10 Case Club. And Peggy, are we going to do it with the gift cards this year?
Well, let's start out with the 10 Case Club. If you sell 10 cases or you cause them to be sold, Katie and Jamie and I will be tracking that, self-certify, because if you do that, you're part of the 10 Case Club. Then there's going to be a fabulous happy hour for 10 Case Club members at the Golden Mills. So, you know, if you want to be, you know, there and part of the team, you got to help sell peaches.
As Peggy said, you can self-certify. Just send one of us or all of us or the committee an email and say, you know, my name's Jamie Sheridan. I've sold to these people that I know they ordered, and we can look it up and confirm that. So yeah, sell. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Jamie. What a great idea to buy a box of peaches for everybody who works with you. And I bought Sally a box of peaches, so I mean, that's happening. Well, Bill Getzinger comes up here to talk about the golf tournament. I just want to remind you, we had a fabulous World's Greatest Meal, raised money for Polio Plus, and that's why we raised so much money this year. So keep filling your banks. If you don't have a piggy and you're here, I have a few extra to give to you.
Okay, we'll keep it really brief because we're 3 minutes over, but I'll stay data driven like Jamie. We had a great time at Rolling Hills on the 21st. We had 80 golfers. We had 11 gold sponsors, 1 platinum sponsor. We raised approximately, and we're still working out the final details because there's still payments coming in, but we raised around $17,000 for the golf tournament this year. So, yep, that's going to help to do really great things with the club, just as same as Peaches and the Woohoo Mania Challenge and Miracle Shop and all that other stuff. So, great job by everybody, and thank you for everyone who supported and bid on silent auction items and donated auction items. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to bring Rick Hebert up.
Well, hi again, everybody. Today is outgoing President Tom's last official meeting as presiding president. Now, he's not leaving the club. He better not. He is this, but this is his last meeting. So what I'd like to do is have everybody stand and clap and give him a round of applause for a job well done. And before you do that, we have a tradition. See this thing? This is the flag of last year. This gets to be Tom's, and he's going to put it in his living room, hang it on the wall, right?
I think I'm going to do it like a Mason.
No, Sally said put it on the wall. So let's give Tom a hand on his outgoing time.
Thank you, Rick. Well, it's been an honor to serve this club this year, and I just want to thank everybody for all your support and enthusiasm, because that's really important to keep the club going. And I know it's being turned over into good hands. Ken Boggs will be a fabulous president, and we look forward to the 21-22 program year. And with that, my last time to, the meeting is over.